Optimizing work or improving efficiency often comes down to analyzing bottlenecks. That is, the places where production slows down or those elements of the line where production is restricted. Because a production line is in fact a set of connected vessels, and the efficiency of the line will depend on how the weakest link performs. So when approaching such a project, if a client comes to us who already has some equipment, already has some line, but is not entirely satisfied with the results of its work, with the efficiency they are achieving, the first step will be to look at how the line currently looks and where those bottlenecks are. That is, which element of the entire process could be changed, improved, or streamlined so that ultimately the entire production or the entire production line would operate faster. And such an element could be a weigher, such an element could be a packaging machine, it could be a sorter or a labeling machine. However, it is important to look at the system as a whole and together identify which elements are potentially replaceable so that efficiency simply increases. And it very often happens that we don't have to replace the entire line. Replacing just one element is enough. This could be, for example, replacing a 10-head weigher with a 12-head or 16-head one, and that will allow us to increase the efficiency of the entire operation by 30 to 40%. It should be remembered that every device has its own nominal capacity. It is calculated in tons per hour or in packages per minute. However, this capacity will only be achieved if other devices in the line are also able to meet this capacity, and the way of working allows for these capacities to be reached. Therefore, it is a mistake to look solely at this nominal capacity, which manufacturers often state as peak capacity. However, it is much more important what the average throughput of the line is, the average capacity we achieve, which we often measure in packages per minute or in kilograms or in pallets that simply leave the warehouse within an hour. It is also worth mentioning that in our history we have dealt many times with cases where, by eliminating one bottleneck, we identified another one further down the process, so this is then a pretext for us to address the next stage of the process and improve it. For example, if replacing a 10-head weigher with a 16-head one meant that we are able to weigh and fill a specific number of fruits, but we are blocked, for instance, by the sealing machine that then closes these packages, the next step will be to consider how we should optimize that area. And in this way, together with our clients, often over the course of years, we arrive at a point where production on specific lines improves, efficiency increases until we reach the maximum capabilities of a given line, and that is the moment to consider investing in another one, which is what we wish for all the clients who work with us.